there, Taurus. It's time for your weekly horoscope for the coming 7 days. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, should you ever want to get a session with me, just go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Or, of course, you may also just simply go on ahead and follow the links down below. I've got a sale going on right now, 20% off all services, including gift certificates. And I also accept tips and donations now on my website. So again, you can follow the links below for more details there. If you want to maybe select your own cards and build your own spread, the Build a Spread horoscope should be up here by the time we get to mid-weekend. And the incoming wave, where I talk about the new energies integrating during this week, is already up on my main channel page. So, what is going on when it comes to this week for you? This week, Taurus is overlit by the Knight of Wands, and it's reversed. And what I'm actually seeing is a lot of radical shifts in taste, a lot of radical shifts in interest, preferences, and passions during this week, which might throw you every now and then, because I'm not seeing this Knight of Wands reversed as necessarily giving a warning, but rather giving you a heads up that maybe if you've had certain parts of yourself, sides of yourself at war, or competing for your energy or for your investment, your time, direction, right? Where are we throwing our passions? Well, we're passionate about maybe different things that are suddenly competing for energy or need more time to substantiate. Maybe we don't have the same preferences that we used to. Maybe we're not as inspired by the same things as we used to be. That's perfectly fine. You know, the Knight of Wands reverse is indicating that this shift is actually a part of your own growth. It's actually a part of your own progression. But we have to make sure that we are allowing ourselves to be honest with our feelings, because with the Knight of Wands reverse, what can sometimes happen is that we're tempted to either repress this until it comes out in other ways, please don't do that, or we kind of not give it the reverence, the time, or the energy that it should get in order to be explored and understood completely, because this is a shift in what is actually occurring with us on a subtler level. It's kind of like, look, I don't like the same food I used to like even a year ago. I mean, it's really weird, right? Or maybe you're a change in career direction. We're not passionate about the same field as we used to. Different preferences for music, different turn-ons or different interests or likes when it comes to love and romance. These things are all going to come up for you to be considered, because the Knight of Wands will show up reversed when maybe we've come too far down a certain road without actually examining the changes as they were occurring within us. And you're going to see this show up in all kinds of different ways this week. But I also think that it's going to be something that you don't want to necessarily ignore or block within yourself, because you're seeing a part of an old self be shed during this period. As we get on to your material wealth, we talk about your money, your finances, and all of that, your professional life. We've got the Five of Cups upright. And it's very interesting. It's almost like we are feeling like we're falling out of love with our job, or falling out of love with a passion. We're trying really hard to fall back in love or get excited about it. In fact, the Knight of Wands reversed and the Five of Cups upright is indicating we may be actually seeing feeling a sense of finality when it comes to maybe a line of work, a career direction, or possibly something that we have already been maybe sinking a lot of time and energy into, but we realize it's time for us to let it go. And this can sometimes show up on the external. Yes, there may actually be some prompts that come in the form of a final straw, or maybe some kind of tumultuous activity or controversy comes up this week that kind of lets us know that that ship has not only set sail, but we shouldn't be on it in the first place. The Five of Cups can indicate loss during this period, but with the Knight of Wands reversed, I don't think this is necessarily a loss in terms of something being yanked away from you before you can have it, but it is something that is, you're kind of grieving something that you wish you could get excited about. You're grieving something that you wish you could still be committed to, but you know you have to move on. Some of you may be finding opportunities that are better suited to you during this time, where we are having a painful goodbye but moving into a better financial situation, a better professional situation. We might be having a painful sense of loss as we walk away from certain people, or maybe certain commitments or certain paths, to step onto ones that already make our hearts sing, and we're really just more grieving the end or the transition from the old self as we go through this. But that Five of Cups is indicating you will be taken care of if you do not stop to overprocess this or delay. Okay? As we get on to your community card, friends, your relatives, other people in your life, we have the Magician upright, and it does look like all kinds of alternatives are coming your way. The Magician is, I kind of feel a lot of you being compelled to follow in this magician's direction. Maybe not necessarily the magician themselves. Maybe in some cases for you, you just want to kind of take the prompt and example and go. Some of you may be joining somebody during this period, but this magician is ultimately going, okay, here's that alternative we were just talking about. You know, this is somebody who's kind of creating the life, the lifestyle, or the realm that you already feel at home in, that you're wanting to. Now, some of you may be deciding to kind of join as a friend, an ally. This possibly could show up as a romantic attraction that helps you kind of, you know, shake up your rut a little bit. This could also indicate somebody that you look at as maybe a good role model for how something should be actually worked, or maybe something should be taken care of with. But what I like about the Magician is that this is bringing these replacements for the Five of Cups and the Knight of Wands reversed energy. And you're being very well supported. Somebody's actually going out of their way to even use a lot of their power, their personal power, whether it's their spiritual power, magic, or their physical resources, or their social resources, to actually give you a big leg up on this next step for you. As we get on to your challenge, or your lessons that may present as challenges this week, with fire here, or at least fire burning down that tree, with the Three of Pentacles reversed, we actually have this moment where a lot of you Taurus people are going to find that you are not syncing up very well with some of the teams or some of the groups, or maybe some of the communities that you had built around yourself in the past. Now, I'm not seeing this as necessarily something that you have to worry about going and fixing or boxing people's ears or anything along those lines. It's not really negative. I don't get negativity from this, but I think that is that sense of growth and growing out of something. It served its purpose. It's time to move on. Because of the Three of Pentacles in reverse, we are seeing a situation where you are growing out of maybe a group, or maybe a certain friendship connection, or maybe just an old clique, an old crew that you used to roll with, that ultimately is not in a space where they can actually do or achieve or give the time, energy, and discipline to maybe advancing on the path that you initially set out on with them. And this happens. This is life, right? This is how it goes. Everyone's got their own personal journey, their own personal reality. But with your challenge with this is to understand where certain things just don't mesh anymore, and acknowledge them for what they are, so that everyone in the situation is on the best road and working with the best people possible. We're not trying to force people to work in conditions they can't work in, or under pressures, or maybe under schedules, or handling obligations that they can't do, right? You don't put somebody on a job they have no expertise in. You know, that's a failure to utilize proper expertise. But this is a week where a lot of you are going to be shifting roles around, possibly deciding to experiment with talking to different friends, or maybe giving more time to friends that are already where you are going, or where you want to possibly be, and maybe leaving a little bit of these other communities where they are. As we get on to your love life, we talk about relationships and partnerships. You've got the Three of Cups in reverse, and It feels as though a lot of you Taurus people, especially those of you who are in committed relationships, are finding that you and your partner are needing to kind of have a bit more space or social support systems outside of the relationship. And it does not mean anything negative about the relationship at all. It really doesn't. But the Three of Cups in reverse is kind of indicating that the partnership itself is starting to maybe feel a little bit like we share too much. We actually don't have maybe our own support system for the couple or for ourselves as individuals outside of the relationship that we could be spending more time with. Some of you may be deciding that that is exactly how you want to dedicate this week. You may be encouraging your partner to go out and do that with friends of their own as well. And that's actually a really important theme, because I feel as though this is going to bring in a diversification of experiences, of information, and of course, social inspiration for this relationship as well. Because the Three of Cups reversed, I'm kind of feeling the sense of isolation. We need to open up the relationship doors a little bit, start getting out, interacting, having adventures, but also at the same time having our own personal journeys be in focus. So it's not as though anyone is maybe losing time or slowing down from a pace that's natural to them because of the way the relationship is being handled at this time. And if we do, I do think that we're both going to be, not only very, very happy for it, but I think that this is going to provide some very positive shakeups for everybody. As we get on to those of you who are currently single, those of you who maybe just available to be with other people, the Three of Cups reversed is indicating that you are going to be looking outside of your normal. The Three of Cups reversed is indicating that, again, when we talk about a complete shift in turn-ons, interests, passions, this is really playing out for a lot of you, and you may be finding that you want to try something completely different, something completely outside of your norm, which means possibly stepping away from what friends and family would normally expect from you, or what they might have come to expect from you. Now, I don't see this as actually having any kind of negative outcome whatsoever. Actually, I think with the Knight of Wands reversed and Three of Cups reversed, you're being told, look, you are not going to find the relationship you want if you keep trying to build your relationship in a way where it's more in accordance of what's projected on you. So this is a good week for that level of, adventurous exploration. I think it's going to work in the best interest for you and maybe either somebody you're already looking over, or somebody new that's coming in, or maybe that magician. We don't know. All right. So thank you very much for tuning in, Taurus. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you ever want to get a session with me or take advantage of the sale, leave a tip or donation, you can always go to my website, integrativemysticism.com.